All right, y'all. So I just posted a video at the request of a viewer, but now it was to answer like a specific question that she had for me. But now I am here to give you guys an update. It has been about 2 weeks since I have said anything about my process. I have recorded like 3 or 4 videos, and they are so long. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm not going to upload this. This is just taking forever. So I've been trying to find a quick way to just break down what I've been going through. Probably not going to say everything because it just makes this video super lengthy, and it takes forever to upload when it's longer. So anyway, quick little recap. Last video was about 2 weeks ago. I was dealing with the hand department. I was also dealing with being stuck in credit access. So update with hand is, aside from my initial interaction with them, I was frustrated because I was waiting longer than I thought I should for my repair list. I was super frustrated. Ever since I got my repair list, I will say that my experience with hand has been quite calm and like just super chill and easygoing. So I'm just gonna embrace that because we all know with Naca that's a rare occurrence. So with the hand department, I agreed. Me and the seller, we agreed on who was gonna handle what repairs because the seller was not gonna handle all of the repairs. Some of the repairs, I didn't want them to make or break my deal. They weren't terribly expensive to handle, so I agreed to handle them myself. And I decided that I did not want to roll. I did not want a rehab loan with Naca. I did not want to roll inexpensive repairs into my mortgage because I will be paying interest on that. I think total repairs may have come up to $700 or $800, and I'm just like, you know what? I will pay out of pocket. I will handle that myself. So what happened was, hand department actually called me and asked me who was going to do what. So they sent me a form for me to sign designating who was going to take care of what, and then they sent me a waiver. And so there were a few items that I explained in the last video that I wanted waived because I was going to handle them myself. I did not want to deal with NACA contractors, all of that stuff, because honestly, these contractors are not responsive if you don't have a high-paying job, and I was not going to have a high-paying job. So it was going to be pulling teeth just trying to get somebody to make the repairs after closing. So anyhow, I was sent the waiver by my rehab specialist. I signed it. A few days later, she sent it back to me, had it approved. She actually told me they were just waiting for my reinspection to confirm that the repairs had been made by the seller. She said, other than that, my file was cleared. It was contingent on my reinspection, which I'm having today. Took a week to get my inspector to come back out to the house. He's quite busy. So that's really great thing, really positive thing. I'm going to be cleared. I expect to be cleared through the hand department by the end of this week, especially because she my specialist already waived my repairs. She approved them, sent me a confirmation that it was approved, and she also told me that my getting my house cleared was contingent on this reinspection. So anyway, my seller didn't even complete all the repairs until July 2nd. So that's that. Now, credit access. So as I mentioned before, credit access is supposed to take 2 to 3 days. That is according to NACA. Credit access is basically you going back through underwriting. They just want to make sure that you are still NACA qualified, meaning your income has not decreased, your debts haven't increased, you're not using your credit cards, you don't have anything derogatory on your credit report. They just still want to make sure that you're still in financial condition to continue purchasing a home. So I went in, and I'm just giving y'all a timeline. I went under contract June 8th, right? June 8th. You're supposed to see your mortgage counselor within 5 days to do credit access if you want to close on time. I think I saw my counselor 6 or 7 days after I went under contract. But anyhow, I went in to do credit access on the 14th of June. The 15th of June, he actually submitted to credit access. By the 16th of June, which was a Saturday, I actually received conditions from the bank, which shocked me because they're working on a Saturday. But my counselor didn't tell me about the conditions until the 17th, which was, I think, a Monday. So on June 17th, I found out about my conditions. I sent him everything he needed to satisfy those conditions within 2 hours. So this was the 17th. On the 18th, I actually messaged my mortgage counselor. He told me that the Naca system had been down. They couldn't even access Naca files. Nobody could even work that day or whatever. Cool, no problem. On the 18th, the 19th, I emailed him again and I'm like, hey, do you have a status update? And he said, no status update yet. So I decided to chill a couple days and not bother him. So I think it was the 20th. I think it was a Friday, June 20th. I went ahead and emailed him. I'm like, do we have a status update? Because at this point, it had been a week and I expected to be approved. No response. I emailed him. No, that was the 21st. I emailed him again on the 24th, which was a Monday. Emailed him again on the 25th, the 26th, the 27th, and the 28th. I emailed him every single day that whole week, and he would not respond to me. He would not respond to my realtor, nothing. So at this point, I'm beyond frustrated because, time is of the essence. You can't just be sitting around not doing credit access because you can't even apply for your loan. You can't even officially apply for your loan unless you've gone through credit access. So by the 28th, I was super frustrated. At the same time, the Achieve the Dream event was taking place in New York. And what happens is when they have these events, they start pulling people from all the offices. You just have to go. So primarily mortgage counselors and underwriters have to go. So my mortgage counselor was leaving to go to this Achieve the Dream event. So he left. And while he left, he was also not coming back until today for vacation. He was going on vacation for 10 days. So I'm really panicking. I'm really freaking out because my close date is July 12th, which is this week. And I knew that wasn't going to happen because I hadn't even applied for the loan. So what I did was I had been reaching out to member services. They couldn't tell me anything. They just kept saying that my file was under review. So something just told me, like, I don't think he responded to my conditions. And you know what? He didn't. So I had been sitting for 2 weeks, basically waiting to hear something back when it was really his fault. He hadn't even resubmitted any of my information to the underwriters for me to even get cleared. Once they came back with conditions on June 15th, he never even responded to my conditions. And so I talked to the office manager. I talked to my previous counselor who had helped me get qualified. And they both were trying to make excuses. And they're like, we're all overwhelmed. We all have a lot on our plate. Sometimes people fall through the cracks. That's understandable. But when I'm emailing you every single day for 2 weeks and my realtor is emailing you every single day for 2 weeks, that is no longer an oversight. That is just deliberate. You're just ignoring me at that point. You're just not even messing with my file at that point because it was in his face every day. He's getting emails every day from me, member services, and my realtor. So you can't deny at that point if you're not doing something, it's just because you simply don't want to. So while he was out of town doing the Achieve the Dream event and being on vacation, my previous counselor was given permission by the office manager. They basically gave him access to my file. He is not a licensed mortgage counselor, so typically he's not supposed to do this for me, but they gave him permission to basically submit all of my documentation to satisfy my conditions, pull my credit report, update all of my stuff. They gave him permission to do that, so he did that for me. I mean, it was a Saturday night, and he was at that office at 10:30 p.m. working on my file just to get me moving. I appreciate him so much. Like, you know, I posted some videos before where I had bumped heads. I didn't always have like the best things to say about my counselor, but I'm gonna tell you, he definitely came through for me with this. He did not have to do what he did. Technically, I was no longer his client. So, kudos to him. He helped me out. So what he did was he finally got my file resubmitted to underwriting, called in a favor. They had an underwriter located in another state pull my file, and she approved me. So I finally got credit access approved July 2nd. I went in immediately after I got the text, and I went and filled out my bank app. Meanwhile, my counselor is still gone, still out of town, still on vacation, doing whatever. And so another mortgage counselor in the office, she assisted me with completing my bank app. So I finally got my bank app submitted. They told me I wouldn't hear anything back till today, but by July 3rd, I already had conditions on my file. They were already working on it. So I have a new tentative closing date of July 31st. 19 days later than my original closing date. So the thing that sucks for me is I have this contingency in my contract with the seller that says I have to pay $50 every single day that I'm late past the 12th with closing. So at this point, if I close on the 31st, I'm going to owe them $950 in late fees, which sucks. But here's the worst part. So when I went in to do my bank app, of course, I'm reading every line, trying to make sure I'm, making sure I know what I'm getting myself into, and this commitment that I'm about to make for 30 years. And it had the seller's contribution of $6,000, and it had my contribution to buy down $6,000. Now, I never ever agreed to buy down my interest rate. Never. I had never gone into this process with the intention of that. The money that I had saved was going to be for improvements, to get a fence put in, repairs that I have now gotten waived. So I started freaking out because I don't have the money to contribute $6,000 to buy down, because I need $6,000 to get my entire house repiped. This house has some outdated pipes that are going to fail. I think they actually have started to fail, which means they're going to leak, and that can just cause so much trouble. But I love the house so much. It had everything else that I wanted, that I decided that a $6,000 investment was worth it for me to keep my dream house, basically. So wasn't no sweat to me. I was going to pay the $6,000 to get the house repiped. So this mortgage counselor, she tells me that I can't afford this house anymore unless I'm willing to contribute $6,000. And I'm like, well, this isn't going to work. I'm going to have to terminate. I'm going to have to lose my earnest money. This is just not going to work. And she said, how did you get approved to buy this house? Because once you get qualified, every home that you look at and that you want to submit an offer for, you have to get a property specific letter from your mortgage counselor. And basically, the reason why you have to get it from your mortgage counselor is because they want to make sure that your payment is an affordable payment. So here's the discrepancy with why I couldn't afford this house, because when I was using the mortgage calculator, I was using a certain amount for taxes. Naca was using a higher amount for taxes. And so they don't tell you this, but Naca is always going to use 1% of your purchase price as your tax rate, even if the taxes are lower. So for my particular property, the taxes are $218. But because the house is $300,000, NACA's using the tax rate of $300 a month. And that makes a big difference with your payment. So because NACA's using $300 a month and not the actual $218, that basically makes me not afford to purchase this home. It changes my debt to income ratio. The payment exceeded my approved payment amount. So it was just like all this stuff. So finally what we did was I ended up contributing $1,500 towards my buy down, which got me an interest rate of 2.875. And then also what happened was they approved me for a higher payment. Now, ordinarily they wouldn't do this, but they did it for me because I'm already paying $300 more in rent right now than my mortgage would be. So I don't have payment shock. I don't even have that issue because I'm already paying more than what I want to pay for my home. So they went ahead and took it to the underwriter. Actually, I think it was the office manager. They took it to him. He approved the increase on the spot, and that's how I was able to keep my home and continue to move forward. Let me tell y'all, my mortgage counselor pretty much screwed me, and I think that's why he stopped responding, because he realized he made an error and he shouldn't have allowed me to purchase that home anyway, because he asked me what I was going to pay for buy down, and I told him $0. And that's when he stopped responding, because he realized that he made a mistake by allowing me. He gave me that property specific letter when he shouldn't have, because with me not buying down, I couldn't afford that house. So I think that's why he went MIA, because he realized he made a mistake and he didn't know how to tell me, because it was too late. I already lost my money, my earnest money. I was already beyond my due diligence. So thank God that I'm paying this high rent, because that's what allowed them to increase my payment. It only increased my payment by like $15, not a big deal. It's not going to put me in the poorhouse or nothing like that. And then the issue with the taxes is the reason why it's being reported lower, like on Realtor, Trulia, Zillow, is because my home qualifies for homestead exemption, which is a tax break that you get on your property taxes. And so Naca's using this $300, but once I file my taxes next year and I file for homestead, it is actually going to drop my taxes down to $218. And the awesome part about that is, because the awesome thing with that is, in order for me to make this deal work, I had to contribute to buy down my rate a little bit more. So when it's all said and done, next year after I file my taxes and my property taxes go down for my home, I think I'm going to be paying like $1,570 for a $300,000 home. I have not paid rent that low in probably 5 or 6 years. So that is the positive side to this whole thing. Originally, I was going to be paying $1,650. Now I'm going to be paying less than that. So I'm gonna take it. They made it work. Everybody who helped me, who assisted me with getting my bank app approved, with getting my payment increase approved, like all of those people were crucial in allowing me to even move forward with buying my home. So now I am just dealing with this reinspection today, and just kind of gliding through, hopefully, the whole bank application process. They have been moving a little bit faster than what I expected, so maybe I can close early. That would be a blessing, because I didn't budget to buy down my interest rate. I also didn't budget to have to pay, nearly $1,000 in late fees. I still have to get repairs made before I move into this house. I still have to purchase a refrigerator. School is getting ready to start. That sucks, because my closing date is now, the night before school starts. I'm not going to be able to start moving immediately, because I have to focus on getting my kids prepared for school. I got one going into 6th grade, which is going to be a mess with my son. He's doing homeschool. We're going to try online public school. And then I have a kid going into high school. So anyway, I've just been super busy. I haven't even started packing, because I have like 3 more weeks, and you just never know with Naca. So I'm really hoping I can close by the 31st, or at least close before then, because I don't want to pay any more in closing fees, late fees. And this is because my realtor did not take out that contingency. Naca tells you to take out the contingency that you have to pay $50 for every day you're late, because Naca know they're going to be late. But it was also my fault, because I didn't read my contract and I signed it before we submitted it. So if I would have read it like I should have, then I would have known better, and I would have made him remove it. So you learn. So y'all learn from me, learn from my mistake. Make sure your realtor takes out that $50 contingency clause, whatever that's in your contract when you submit your offer. And don't let your realtor give you a 35-day closing. Don't ask for anything less than 45 days. I'm telling y'all, 45 to 60 days is what y'all need to ask for with closing your house. I think it would be a miracle if you close earlier than that, especially because it's the summertime, it's busy, and the bank is just backed up. So anyway, I even left out some stuff. This video is 20 minutes and I still left out some stuff. So that's where we are. I will come back and let you guys know what's going on in maybe a week or so if I have any news. Hopefully the bank will keep moving and I will get cleared through hand. My appraisal was ordered. It came back right on target for the purchase price of my house, so I don't have to worry about that. Title was ordered. I mean, we just waiting on the bank at this point, and I was told that if the bank sees that your house is cleared through hand and that everything else is done, then that your file becomes more of a priority because they're not waiting to clear anything. So anyway, that is that. I hope everybody had a nice 4th of July, a safe 4th of July. I will be back. My apologies if I'm not as responsive as I have been before. Sometimes Naca just wears you down. I just have a lot of other stuff. I'm kind of back in mommy mode. It's the end of the summer. My kids are coming home next week, so I got other stuff to do. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.